What symbols were forced on them?
Um, Most symbols, like when they were brought to the death camps, they were either tattooed numbers along with Jews, or they had to be patched on their clothing with a orange triangle.
I see. Were they segregated? Were they dehumanized at all?
They were dehumanized by the Germans because they sent them to camps as slaves and recognized mainly as animals.
Okay. Explain the extermination process. What were the methods? How quick was torture used? Death toll? Particular events? Cover up?
Torture was used, and it was being beaten the death out of slowly or put against the wall, a pistol to your temple, and a shot to the brain. Quick and painless death. Some were just left to starve and dehydrated under the working conditions.
What were the effects of this genocide on both the specific region and world?
So out of the 5.7 Soviets that fought against Germany, 3.3 died on Nazi German custody. There was no effect to the religion of the world, but for the world, all that mattered were the numbers of the deaths.
Okay. What has been the world's response, or what was the world's response?
Actually, there was no world response. This is the most unknown genocide that ever happened in history.
Who has spoken out or taken action against this practice?
No one spoke out for Russia because Russia has made enemies to everybody.
All right, one more question. What are the arguments on this genocide? Like, do people still deny that it happened, or are there arguments on whether this should be considered genocide?
Well, the arguments are the same as the Holocaust. The Holocaust should never happened, and that's the arguments on this too. I mean, if the Holocaust never happened, no death camps, then the Soviet prisoners of war wouldn't have died anyway. They probably would have just been killed in battle along with no genocide. There actually were people that denied it, and ironically, it was Russia that denied this because they did not want to be embarrassed that this actually happened to them and people actually surrendered from their own country.
Yep.
Now, just a reflection, this actually compares to the Holocaust a lot, mainly because it wasn't the Holocaust. Jews were put together with Russian prisoners of wars, same treatment, treated like animals, they were slaves, everything. So when you describe the Holocaust, you're also forgetting that the Soviet prisoners of war were also in there. So it's a wonder why the Holocaust is so widely remembered today and not the genocide on the Soviet prisoners of war. Mason, you have anything?
That's it.
That concludes today's video on our reflection of the past. Thank you.
Thank you, and stay classy.